Hey, what's up you beautiful feckers, how you all doing? Now, the last time I made a Hydroid video and criticised him, this was the result. Almost 50 Hydroids gifted to me and nearly 300 noggles, all because I said Hydroid was weak, and in all honesty, I said it to try and get him a rework, or to get him looked at least. So when word came out from Digital Extremes that good old Tentacle Ties himself was actually getting a rework, and I now use that term very lightly, I oozed with excitement. I ran out into the backyard cheering and straight up punted the fucking badger clean over the wall. Or whatever sounds badgers make. I mean, he was moving too fast for me to actually hear him. Now, over the next week or two, I fully expect Digital Extremes to tweak Hydroid some more. It happened with Oberon. He was pretty weak when he first got the rework, but now he's a really good Warframe. So calm down a little bit until we see what he's like in the final changes. Now, I love the idea of Hydroid, his theme, but my major issue with Hydroid has always been the fact that he slows the gameplay down in Warframe too much for me to actually enjoy it. But that's just me. I want to kill shit fast and move on, not drown them slowly or hang them upside down and beat the dust out of them. I don't enjoy being a puddle, and honestly, when enemies are being thrown around the place by Hydroid's tentacles, it makes it really hard to actually shoot them unless you have an area of effect weapon or explosive weapon. And I was genuinely hoping he'd get a better revisit than what we've gotten so far, and I want him to fit that pirate theme or water elementalist theme a little bit better, but he just doesn't right now. He's fucking boring. Not sorry. I wouldn't really call this a rework for Hydroid or even a revisit. I mean, nothing has really changed. Call it certain quality of life changes, I guess, or visual tweaks, but in terms of his abilities, he has had nothing new added to his arsenal, so it's more of the same but with slight tweaks. Now, his shield has been increased by 30. His armour is now 200, up from 65 for that little bit more survivability, but for whatever reason they have also synergised his abilities around his undertow or his puddle, an ability that so many of the Warframe player base wanted removed. So now everything works around that ability because that's how logic works. So you can now cast Tempest Barrage, Tidal Surge and Tentacle Swarm while inside your puddle form. Exciting stuff, I know, but hold on to your seat, there's more. While in Undertow, enemies will take damage from your Tempest Barrage. The damage enemies take from your Undertow will also increase over time. It scales up, but it's still pretty damn weak. Even with a max power strength build, it takes ages to kill mid-level enemies, and it does, like I said earlier, slow the game down. The augment for Tempest Barrage doesn't seem to add corrosive to enemies while they're inside your puddle right now, so that might be a bug. Tempest Barrage can be charged up to deal more damage and last longer at the cost of more energy, so you can quick cast it or you can charge it up. It's got about a 3-second cast for that maximum charge. The targeting aspect of Tempest Barrage is still pretty hit and miss and would be much more effective if it was made to seek out enemies instead of landing randomly beside them, and it would make Hydroid pretty good if you just ran him for Tempest Barrage because it is a pretty good crowd control ability. You can also now move your Undertow, be the active puddle you always wanted to be, but it moves really slowly at the cost of energy as you move it. Or you could cast Tidal Surge and shoot your puddle across the room. You can now drag enemies into the puddle by aiming at them and clicking on them. And if you choose to cast Tentacle Swarm from inside the puddle, almost all of your tentacles will spawn inside the radius of the puddle, all of them all clumped together in that one little small area. But if you then choose to move the puddle, these tentacles won't follow you, they stay where they were originally, they stay clumped together. And his Tentacle Swarm can now be instantly cast or charged up like his Tempest Barrage. Charging it will cover more area of effect and summon a lot more tentacles, of course, at the cost of more energy. Visually, we now have a sea beast at the centre of that Tentacle Swarm. It's supposed to be a kraken. This is just visual, it doesn't actually do anything, but it does look a little bit too small to be an actual kraken. Now, with a maximum power strength build, just to test things out or to test the damage of his abilities with a Blind Rage, Transient Fortitude, Power Drift and Intensify, his tentacles will only do slightly over 600 damage each swing, which as you can see is nothing against a high level enemy, so building him for power strength or damage seems really silly. Range and duration might be better if you wanted to go down that road, because the base range of both Hydroid's puddle and his Tentacle Swarm have been greatly reduced with these changes. His puddle now has a 4 meter range, teeny tiny puddle, and his Tentacle Swarm's base range is now 5 meters when you quick cast it. If you charge up Tentacle Swarm and then cast it, you will get more or less the same range that it had before these changes to Hydroid. So to cover the same ground as you would have pre-rework, you need to cast it for that little bit longer and spend more energy. However, now you get a lot more tentacles to flail enemies around in, so I guess you get more slop for your buck. Now here's the question I guess you need to ask yourself with these changes. Is Hydroid any further up the Warframe pecking order with these changes? I personally don't think so. Pretty much every Warframe in the game can do what Hydroid does, only better, and are a lot more enjoyable at the same time. Other frames deal a lot more damage. Other frames bring a lot more crowd control than what Hydroid brings. Now, I'm not hating on Hydroid. I really do want him to get a proper rework. I love the idea of a pirate frame, but right now he's just lackluster. Other frames, like I said, do everything he can do, but just much better. Now, like I said at the start of the video, over the next few days, over the next few weeks, I fully expect Digital Extremes to tweak Hydroid further in order to bring him up in line with other Warframes in the game, or else his Prime Access won't sell anything and it could be the worst one yet. Now personally, and this is just for me, I would love to see Puddle removed from the game altogether. It's fucking boring. It promotes a campy kind of playstyle and just slows the game down way too much when we're supposed to be these bullet jumping fast ninjas. Now his tentacles and barrage are way too random when it comes to targeting enemies and actually dealing damage. The damage of them isn't that good, although Tempest Barrage has got a decent crowd control to it. Tidal Surge, now I don't really have an issue with. It is a nice ability just for maneuverability or getting out of harm's way. It's also quite good at just grouping up enemies up against the wall so you can wail on them with your melee weapon. But you guys let me know in the comment section below what you think of Hydroid in his current state. Like I said, over the next few days he's going to get some more tweaks, he's going to get some more changes. But right now, what do you think of him? Or what would you change if you could change something? If you're a Hydroid main, then chances are you're really loving him right now. Maybe you think he's in a better place than he was before. Then that's cool as well. Let me know in the comment section below. Do me a huge favour, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, or don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Warframe, and as always, thanks very much for watching.